hold that note. Hey, folks. Let me make sure. Hold on. How's my eyebrows? I just got out of a shower. Sometimes when I get out of the shower, I get like crazy ass eyebrows. How we doing? Well, maybe if I. That's what happens when I flip the brim up. Okay, they're good. All right. Welcome, everybody, to the Pugs Company show. This is the second of two shows that we do each and every day here on the Radio Misfits podcast and programming network. The first one, we like to call that one High Noon. High Noon, get it? It's a stoner reference. No, it's not. It's just simply because it occurs. It goes off every day at noon. And what that is more of a, shall we say, utilitarian offering. It is designed to discuss and get you prepped up on all the topics that people are talking about. It's a current events edition of Pugs and Company. We go through trending topics. We talk about the stories that are going around, basically that kind of thing. Now, this show right here, this is for idiots only. This show is a little bit more loose, a little bit more fun. What's going on? I'm looking at Parker. I got Parker in the on deck circle over there. What's going on? What did he just come back from choir practice? Looks like he's dressed up in you. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Go ahead. We'll bring him in. All right. Hey, James Aloysius Parker, live from New Orleans.
You look so fancy. Your shirt has buttons on it.
Well,
you must have just come from church.
No. Here's what it looked like. Okay, I can now see that you are wearing a different style of shirt than I thought. When you are on the on deck circle, you're in black and white. It is not very detailed. There isn't much definition, and it looked like you were wearing like a white shirt, like you were knocking on doors and telling people if they've met Jesus. That's what you looked like.
Well, I mean, Pugs, have you met Jesus?
No. Yes, I have met Jesus.
Yes or no?
Well, actually, no. I haven't met Jesus, but I've met a lot of his friends, and boy, are they a pain in the ass.
I'm worried about your soul. I'm worried about not just for night, just for all of eternity. No big deal.
I don't own a soul. I don't possess a soul. I don't subscribe to that notion. We are organic beings. We are a cluster F of biological explosions. That's the only reason that we exist. And prove me wrong.
Yeah, you ready for the monologue?
No, what do you want to do the monologue? What are you trying to get in and out of the show in 20 minutes? We got 2 hours to kill. By the way,
we got a lot to do. What
do we have a lot to do?
Well, we need to act like it, even if we don't.
Is that what you learned from your radio teachers? Did they give you that little bit? No, you don't. You just got to be natural, man. You just got to flow with it. You just got to be a place that people can hang. I'm feeling a little combative today. I'm feeling a little bit, you know what? Do you want to know why?
You're saucy. What happened?
One, I don't feel well, man. I am trying to manufacture all of that. I am dying, folks. I have convinced myself that I am dying. When you get to be this age, my age, 38, when you get to be that age and you start to experience different things about your body, you're like, oh, that's new. I've never felt that. I've never had that before. You start to, and so I Google searched. I did a Google search on my symptoms, and I have a brain tumor.
Yeah, you're dying.
Convinced. Brain tumor.
Probably so.
Or sinuses. It's either way.
Right.
It's one of the two. But, I am a fatalist, so why not go with the brain? How are you, James Parker? So glad you're here. It's just you, just the two of us.
Man, my life is wild right now. First off, how did the potato diet work out?
It did. Potato diet, that's how it worked out. That did not go.
When I made fun of you for it, I was right and you were wrong. I mean, I'm not trying to slam dunk on you here. I'm just
yeah, you were right. Yeah, it was a stupid diet. It was too difficult. It's a potato.
So what happened when you tried it? Why didn't it work?
Well, the first thing that happened was my poops got crazy. It's like I didn't poop for like 3 days, and then when I did, it was like a fire hose. I don't need to go into those kinds of details with you folks, but that was the first sign that this was a bad choice. Then there was just the endless monotony of potato after potato after potato after potato, and then
Did it
slow.
work?
No, it didn't work.
You didn't lose any
No.
weight?
No, what?
You didn't lose any weight or whatever?
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't know. No, I'm guessing. You know what? I'm guessing no.
Okay.
I'm guessing that eating nothing, but I was going through like a bag of bacon. You know, you buy potatoes in a bag,
Mhm.
but I was going through like a bag of potatoes every 2 days.
That's
And
gross.
poops were out of control. They were
Gross.
nuts. It was like I was going poop like twice a week.
Hey,
And
you remember about a month ago? It might be a little more than a month ago when I said I took vodka that came in a plastic bottle and I
yeah,
poured it in the Grey Goose bottle.
yeah.
Man, I forgot to tell you. It was like weekend before last. My mother-in-law and my sister-in-law and their kids came over,
Oh.
and those two ladies and my wife went through that whole bottle of Grey Goose, didn't say anything.
Of course not. They don't know. People don't
Oh,
know. People are so stupid. The only thing honestly, you wanna know the only kind of booze that you can tell the difference with is really high-end single malt scotch. That's it. And you know why you can tell the difference? Because that stuff sucks worse than all the others. That stuff tastes even worse. I mean, at least when you're drinking like, Jim Beam or Jack Daniels or Southern Comfort, you can taste all the garbage sugars and fruits and all the stuff that's added in there to make them not taste like horrid single malt scotches.
like
So,
distillate and campfire.
yes, and look, booze tastes bad. It's fruit's way of saying, "Don't eat me anymore." I mean, that's what it is. It's just horrible. So, I mean, it's also why we have mixers, right? So most people who drink vodka, "Oh, I only drink Grey Goose," and then they drown it in cranberry sauce.
Well,
You
Grey
get
Goose isn't even that nice. It's only like $30 a bottle.
right, right. But,
Yeah, you're not
you
like
can
some debonair delicate palate.
You can go and buy a plastic bottle of Skol vodka. Have you ever seen that? Or Minsk vodka, like the really cheap shit.
Oh,
And
I
you
know Skull, bud. I know
you
Skull.
put it in a fancy, I don't know, fancy $50 bottle of vodka, and
Belvedere.
absolutely nobody will tell the difference.
Love
You're
it.
lying, or you're an alcoholic. If you can tell the difference, you're an
Hey,
alcoholic.
and along that lines, it was like 3 or 4 Christmases ago, wasn't that long ago, but it was a Christmas gift, and it was one of those, packages where it comes with, uh, 3 of them. It was, Crown Royal, just the regular, and then it was a Crown Royal, like, Royal Reserve with the
Yeah,
black label, and then there and
fancy.
then there was, like, the apple crisp one, right? There was, like, it was a 3-pack. But I was like, "Hang on a second, this is, like, the top shelf one that costs twice as much money." I'm literally going to pour them in shot glasses next to each other and see if they don't taste different at all. I can't tell which is which. Like, I can't even tell that there was any difference in between them. It tasted like the same stuff, but if you put it in this bottle, literally, they charge twice as much. Like, it is indistinguishable.
They all taste like look, booze tastes like garbage. I'm
Well, I mean, there's
only
differences in booze,
yes, they're all garbage, but yes, there are different flavors of garbage.
but I choose not to fool myself into thinking I have some sort of delicate palate that can tell the difference, because that's pretty expensive real quick. I'm flushing $40 around what to what fluff my own illusion that I have some sort of delicate taste abilities or delicate palate, like I can
No,
tell the difference. I
you're
have some
just
sort of
showing off.
skill that I don't have.
You're just showing it's just this is all like the frailty of the human ego. You need to try and score your points wherever you can.
But even
So
when people don't see it, you're showing off to yourself when you buy Grey Goose on your own. When you're at the bar
eh,
and you order Grey Goose, and no one even sees you order Grey Goose except for the bartender. No one knows. You're
that's it.
paying for that just to fluff yourself. I find that fascinating. Amy,
Absolutely. We're all
Amy,
posers.
Amy asked, you were eating just potatoes.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the problem. That's why I eventually had to bail on the thing
How
because
did you start in the first place? How did that sound like a good idea?
Because Penn from Penn and Teller lost 120 pounds on a potato diet, and he wrote a book about it. And I thought, why not give it a try? If that dude could do it, I could do
Oh, why
it.
didn't you say something? You didn't tell me that last time.
Yeah, I did. That's yeah, I did. I even pulled up. Oh, you weren't with us. You weren't with us when I debuted the potato diet.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, what else? So what else do we have going on here?
Oh, my bizarre life. By the way, I'm in a situation now where my wife and kids live in a different town, and I stayed behind to get the house ready to sell, and I got to like sell
Nice.
all the furniture we didn't take.
Mhm.
We did take the fridge, so I have an empty house up there. I just sleep in this studio. I'm like, Matt Damon in The Martian. I just have this little shelter that I'm living out of, and my only other safe space is the truck. So,
You know how you made it full circle? Because Matt Damon pooped in a bag and grew potatoes. And now we come
oh
full circle.
man,
Look at
wow!
that. You can go on a potato diet with your own poop.
And you still deny the existence of souls after that beautiful
I
ballet.
don't deny the existence of souls. I just refuse to admit that, or I refuse to acknowledge that it's an absolute. How's that?
Okay, well, no, that's fine.
Hmm?
But okay, I don't have a
I'm being
refrigerator.
nasty. I don't know.
Okay, so I don't have a refrigerator, but I do have like a stove and a microwave, a pantry. But without a refrigerator, your beverage options are limited. So I'm drinking room temperature Crystal Light
Okay.
and vodka.
You couldn't even run down to the corner bodega and grab a bag of ice and just throw it in one of those styrofoam thing. Hey, by the way, I don't have a refrigerator either. I mean, I've got a refrigerator that it barely works. Like it keeps things like 60. Yeah, like 65.
Oh no, well then it
Yeah.
doesn't work.
It's awful. It's awful. Well, I don't really complain about it because
It's not your refrigerator.
the master of the property, yeah, I'm already squatting here for free, so I don't really want to
Fair
complain
enough.
about that. And besides, he's got a beautiful refrigerator over in the big house, and it gives me an excuse once a day to go over there and fill up a bag with ice cubes, and then yeah, that pretty much handles my drinks. My drinks are always chilled with ice cubes, and I keep ice
Yeah, so
cubes.
so isn't this sort of like a mid grade? We're not quite with the full set of amenities that is expected of a middle class American in the modern age. Is this some sort of like urban camping almost?
No, dude, you're in transition. This will end for you. I'm just a loser. This is just my lot in life. This is just where I am at this point. There's nothing on the horizon for me. And here's the beautiful part about it. Because I suffer from manic depression, I'm totally cool with it. I'm totally fine. Just let it flow, baby. Every day that I wake up and I'm in a decent mood is a good day to be alive. That's how I see it. So I'm
Respond to Amy. I want your thoughts on this Amy
oh,
comment here. You see that one?
okay, let me read it. I will tell you one way high end liquor makes a big difference. Even if you don't overindulge, the lower end stuff has a higher likelihood of making you feel shitty after you drink it, headache, etc. They have a lot of impurities in them, part of what's responsible for hangovers. She's right, and that's why I only drink Irish whiskey now. If I'm drinking something, I just drink pure Jameson Irish whiskey because there's none of that bullshit sugars and stuff, and it tastes awful, but it does the job. And that's what you need, and you don't get it.
Okay, so
I do agree with her though. Cheaper liquor does make you sicker.
now I have definitely heard this before.
Mm.
However, Amy, do you think we could put it up to the test to where if you showed up at my house and I gave you the high end Belvedere vodka and you drank it all night and you got drunk and you're like, no, see, this is the good stuff. Doesn't give me a hangover. And I went, aha, I put plastic vodka in there, not the Belvedere. You really think it would stand up to the test, the blind test?
Well, I think you're asking for two separate things. In the moment, if you gave her cheap vodka and told her it was expensive vodka, would she be able to tell the difference? I say no. 24 hours later, when she feels like garbage, might she be able to tell the difference? I don't know. Probably. I think yes. But in the moment, no.
See, I also think that theory has a self-regulating mechanism that if you're paying $72 a bottle, you're going to drink it slower and enjoy it more and not just bomb through it like you would Stolichnaya or something that's, Tito's.
Yeah. Yeah. I look, man, I spent a lot of years pretending like drinking was a sophisticated thing, and it ain't. Drinking is a way to get drunk, and you either like how you are when you're drunk or you don't. I don't. I prefer how I am when I'm stoned. That's what I like. I like weed. I don't like booze. I don't like to get. Man, you can trace me all the way back to 15 years old, and every single fist fight I've ever been in has been preceded by a night of drinking. I have never done anything but make new friends when I'm stoned. That's the difference for me. So I mean, I'm at a point in my life now where if I'm going out and we're going to a bar, I'll sip on a couple of beers. Man, I'll tell you, look, the truth be told, there ain't nothing better than once in a while an ice cold beer, man. There ain't nothing better. It hits great. But I can't any longer sit around in a night and pound 12 beers. That's just not what I'm into. I will drink if I'm out and we're partying, we're out, right? We're at a bar, we're doing not that I've done that in years. But if that was something I was doing, I would probably have 3 beers, and then the whole rest of the night I would just nurse a glass of Jameson. That's it. Just fill it with ice, pour the Jameson. It's the other thing I used to do. I used to drink Jameson neat, warm room temperature, and just sip on it. Fuck that, man. No, now it's just
Tough.
loaded up with ice. Make it cold. Make it something that I can sip on. Hey, Krista's here. I remember that one girl that you took to the improv that talked to herself while she was getting sick in the bathroom on tour. First date. I don't know. I've dated a lot of girls, you included, Krista. I've dated a lot of girls, and I don't really remember that. Unless you think she's talking about herself. She's not talking about herself.
Krista's still hot. She was beautiful
Krista's
back in the day.
There's nothing.
She's gonna be beautiful when she's 80.
That's the wonderful Sybil's sister.
Yeah. Like you gotta tell me that.
Well, people don't know that. Other people may not know that. Yeah.
It
was me. She's like, okay, I don't remember that. All right, so Krista, on our first date, you took her. I didn't take you to the improv on our first date. Our first date was like it. I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't remember. I remember my dog attacked you once. I remember that. I felt really bad about that. Yeah. Well, the bed's the dogs. Whiskey and ice is the way to go. Yeah, it is, Jeff. It really is. All right, let's get into some other things here. We got a bunch of stuff we want to talk. You want to go through some of the things that I want to talk about today? Where'd he go? Yeah, okay. We'll get to the monologue. We're going to get right in. Mr. Popular. We'll get to the monologue. Oh, also, folks, we're going to have JFK Jr. calling in live from the Stones concert. So that'll be fun.
Why'd you call him JFK Jr.?
Because it is JFK Jr. JFK Jr. did not show up. Thousands of people gathered at Dealey Plaza today because JFK Jr., QAnon, they said that JFK Jr. was going to show up today at 12:30 at Dealey Plaza and announce that he and Trump were president now. and
he didn't show up?
Not only did he not show up, but it was cold and it was rainy, and all of these people were standing out there.
They were wrong? JFK Jr.'s not alive?
No, but then it started to circulate. Why? You know why he didn't show up? It's not because he's not really JFK Jr., and it's not because he can't really just declare himself and Trump president. He didn't show up because he was contacted by Mick and Keith. I'm not kidding you. I am not kidding you. This is the story that's going around.
There's only like 4 people that can believe this. Like, how many people were out there?
Thousands upon thousands. Thousands upon thousands of people were there. I've got video. I will show it to you. It was
probably like 12.
No, I look, I know that you need to tell yourself that. But no, it was thousands and thousands of dumpy white Walmart shoppers.
Were they blocking the street?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, and then not only that, I was watching live streams from it, and there were people that
How did I not hear about this? This isn't in the national news at all.
Dude, it's been trending all day. Oh, well, it's not in the national lamestream media because
I'm in New Orleans. How would I hear about it?
No, it was big. So anyway, yeah, the story. The reason he didn't show up was because apparently JFK Jr. put out a statement saying that he has been invited by Mick and Keith. He will be. They thought it was a better situation for him to come out on stage at the Cotton Bowl and announce that he and Trump are president again. Not that he ever was, but Whee!
Okay.
Life is fun. Life is fun.
Well,
And then I'll tell you
maybe it'll
something else.
happen for him. I hope it
What's
happens for him.
well, I don't, because then because then it happens to us too. But it's just been a fun day. It has been. It is. Oh, look at this! Look at it! Friggin' that Clinton drone McAuliffe just got boat raced in Virginia, man. He just got smoked, which is probably, in my opinion, the best thing that can happen for the Democratic Party. Because let me tell you, these fools, they can't just be trotting out Clinton loyalists in 2020 when nobody wants Terry McAuliffe running anything. And he got trounced.
Well, he
He,
won the primary.
well, yeah, but and then you're watching CNN or MSNBC all night. Too close to call. Too close to call. Meanwhile, every other news source that isn't like in bed with the left, every other news source is out there going, "It's over." AP, like 45 minutes after the race start or after the polls close, AP declared Youngkin or whatever his name is the winner, and
Youngkin,
CNN
yeah.
is still wringing their hands. Oh, it's close. We're waiting for the Fairfax County votes to come. I'm like, this is over.
That's the
Nobody
most
wants
populous county in the state.
nobody wants Terry McAuliffe in charge of anything. I mean, this guy has been holding Hillary Clinton's purse for 30. The
Well,
stupid
he's
ass
already been governor of Virginia before. There's a
yeah,
strong, incumbency inertia. It's reasonable that he would still have some
no,
supporters.
no, no,
He
no,
has
no.
to have some supporters in there if he won the primary.
No, man. What they needed to run in
Oh man.
Virginia, if they wanted to really rally the base, they needed like a black guy who drops F bombs and drinks out of a paper bag. We need to go straight. I said this on
Dave
Twitter,
Chappelle? Are you saying that he's from DC, isn't he?
but that's fine. Yeah, he's from DC though. He's not
Well,
from.
and I know he lives in Ohio now, but he can go move to Fairfax County and
Oh man, I said, look,
split the
the,
difference.
the problem with and I hate the Democrats. Oh my, I'm a progressive. I'm more of middle these days, but I'm definitely progressive minded. I'm not AOC progressive, but I'm an old white man trying to just get along in the world, and the world always changes, so I'm just trying to ride the tide. But here's the deal: why is it that every acceptable black male candidate has to be Stephen Urkel? They all have to be completely feckless, totally total. They don't get excited. They don't move. It's like they're walking through a yard with a bunch of stray dogs. They don't want to make any sudden movements. They don't want to scare. Meanwhile, every white middle-aged Republican cosplays Rambo in their election ads, and it's totally fine. I mean, why can't we have a black guy running for office, sitting on a stoop in his neighborhood, drinking with the homies? Why can't that be? So I would vote for that guy. Why can't they be real people? You know what I'm saying? It's like black guys are not allowed to be the least bit angry. They're not allowed to be the least, and that's what I think would have won in Virginia. A black guy that was just, they're all Van Jones. Van Jones is like a Ken doll. He's smooth down there. You want to talk about feckless? That's the perfect incarnation of what the Democratic Party thinks that their black male representative, Cory Booker. Oh, stop it.
Well, look, there's some counter examples.
Give me one.
Herman Cain's not Steve Urkel, and then when Jesse Jackson the
They're
third
Republicans.
was a congressman, he didn't speak in effeminate tones. He was
Yeah, how
pretty.
did his career end up? Come on,
Well,
he's in jail.
look, you just use some of the funds from the wrong
Uh,
account on
no.
the wrong credit card, and all of a sudden you got to go to prison. That's not fair to him.
Look,
I,
the
I think what he went to
scariest
prison for was lame. It was I don't even I don't like those laws. I don't think those laws should exist.
the scariest people in the Republican Party are running around armed to the teeth, screaming about insurrections and taking the country back. Meanwhile, the scariest people in the Democratic Party is a 90-pound former bartender from Bronx and a 90-year-old white Jewish man from Vermont. Are you fucking kidding me? They have
Well,
no balls. The Democratic Party has no balls. They're just feckless. I just can't stand them.
Well, that's who they're trying to appeal to. They're not trying to appeal to the balls crowd is not their base.
It ain't working. Well, it ain't. And I'm telling. Here's what I'm telling you. It is their base. It is their base.
The
There
ball
are a
crowd?
whole shit ton of young progressives who are tired of being pussies, who are tired of being fucking feckless fops. And you know what? I think that E is blowing me. Oh, sorry. I think JFK Jr. is blowing me up.
I love that. Byron's trying to start the hashtag smooth down there.
Is this guy? I had a whole conversation with him today. So he wants me to send him this
The
moron.
link? Yeah, he
Hold
can jump in from his phone.
He can just call me directly on the number he's
No,
texting
we want
me.
video. He can.
It doesn't matter. Both numbers go through the same thing. The video he's going to have to send. Yes, it's the same thing. It goes through the exact same system.
Okay.
Whether you're calling my phone number or whether you're calling the show's
No,
number.
when he gets the link from his.
Yo, bitches!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, JFK Jr. joining us live from the Rolling Stones concert. Hey, this is the number to call. Just call my normal number. I told you that today.
I got no fucking clue, dude. Like, I'm
Right,
fucking fucked up like somebody's checkbook. Yeah.
Are we Ubering tonight from the Cotton Bowl? I hope.
We're fucking new boys, bitches.
Fly home.
All right.
Yeah.
So,
For a 78-year-old man, this motherfucker rocks. Woo.
yeah, well, the concert started at 4:30, right? That's what time the Stones hit the stage these days.
Hello. Daily talk. Fucking rocking bitches.
I don't know what's going on here. I don't know. All right. Well, we'll check back in with you in a little bit.
Fucking niggas, like, he ain't got no, like, problem. Like, he's jamming like Jagger. Wendy Chung, like, my wife is calling him his fuck boy.
Oh, it's working out. It's good. Hey,
Hey,
I have a crush on a 78-year-old. I'm sorry. He's got moves like Jagger.
woo!
Okay, they'll be checking.
Good update. It's a good update. Solid
They'll be
update.
checking in from time to time. with
Solid
more.
report. Back to you, John.
Yes. That's JFK Jr. live from the Cotton Bowl where the Rolling Stones have taken the stage. And yeah, Krista, he is 100% that guy.
Lit up.
They're in the front row with all the rich people. They're like the one percenters out there having time of their life. All right. Well, that sounds fun.
Well, it's a good report.
It's a good report. A good solid way to start the show. All right, we got a lot of stuff that we're going to get into. No more politics. No more Democratic politics.
Oh, we can talk about it and be nice. We're grown-ups.
No, I don't want to be nice. I hate politics. Politics just make me angry.
Yeah, but you can talk about it with me.
No, that would really make me angry. No.
How come you don't make me angry? I don't care. I know what you believe and it doesn't bother me. I don't care.
Oh, let's see here. Here we go. All right, what do you say? Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome in to the 1%er Compound Tiki Lounge Guest House. High atop the sprawling... Oh, see, I'm already screwed up. I can't. All right, here he is. James Jones Parker.
Horrible intro. Thank you, Pugs.
It's a terrible intro.
All right. First off, in another Jesse Jackson reference, Reverend Jesse Jackson was hospitalized following a fall at Howard University. The 80-year-old activist is blaming racism.
Oh, did you give me today's script? Okay, I'm it. Okay.
Don't do the badoo choop. I hate the ricochet.
Yeah. Get used to it.
It takes a good joke and makes it bad.
Hold on, continue. I see. All right, I see that. Okay, I just now saw that you sent me a monologue cue sheet. So go ahead. Go ahead. We're gonna be crushing it from this point forward.
The CDC reports that today's average woman weighs as much as the average man did in the 1960s, and today's average man weighs half as much as Pug's mom.
Don't like that. Don't like the shots at my mom. Don't think there's any need for that.
Kelly Osbourne is back in rehab. Pugs, this is her 8th time to go to rehab, which means one more punch on her reward card and her next visit's free.
Okay. That's all you get.
Fair enough. The Miz and Whitney Carson have been eliminated from Dancing with the Stars, which is funny on its own because none of us know which one of those two is the star.
All right.
Right?
All right.
Situational humor, right?
All right.
A little generous.
going.
Wow, thank
Keep
you.
it going for them.
All right. Hey, tomorrow is National Sandwich Day. Just want to get you prepared. America's most expensive sandwich is the quintessential grilled cheese at New York City's Serendipity 3. It costs $214, and I know that sounds like a lot, but it comes with chips.
I didn't even get that one. I didn't even get that one. But
What?
you said Pug's Choice on the cue sheet, so that sucked. Go
Vomit
ahead.
if you want. Hey, it's up to you.
Mhm.
It was also on this day tomorrow in 1883, Black Bart pulled off his last stagecoach robbery. Today, the event's going to be commemorated by the Historical Society. Black Bart Matters.
Yeah, there was a misfire on that one.
All right, that's right. Oh, and finally,
Finally. We're
and
already at the
finally,
final.
yes, and finally, tomorrow morning in just a couple hours here, it's going to be Kendall Jenner's birthday. She's turning 26. Yeah, these days she's dating Phoenix Suns player Devin Booker. Kendall's been passed around the NBA so much, the league has named her an honorary basketball.
Okay. I don't know that I love that joke. Kendall's the good one. Kendall, how dare you take shots at Kendall? And I don't believe
There's
she's
not a good one.
Well,
Caitlin's the good one.
No, how's Caitlyn the good one? Caitlyn sucks. Caitlyn might be the worst one, but Kendall certainly isn't the worst one. Kendall's the no drama one. Kendall's the pretty one who wants to stay out of the spotlight. She's the Amy Osborne of the Kardashian Jenners.
No, she's like, isn't she the one that's worth $900 million?
No, it's Kylie. You're getting confused.
Damn.
Yeah, see, and Kylie's the one that's got a different boyfriend every week. Kendall Jenner's pretty much low key. But you make no distinction. You make no distinction because all Kardashians look the same to you.
I know. I have that crazy. What is it? What country are they from? The anti-Armenian racism. That's me. That's what I'm known for.
Except that she's not. She's not. Kendall and Kylie Jenner, we went through this the other day because Kylie Jenner made waves. She was getting slammed for cultural or race appropriation because she took a whole bunch of like tanning pills and then, basically took a bunch of Instagram pictures where she was trying to look like a black girl. And so we, during the high noon show, she was trending maybe last week or something. And we showed these pictures where, she looked like a black girl. She looked like she was definitely trying to pull it off. And we broke it down. Kylie and Kendall Jenner have no Kardashian blood. The Kardashians,
good point.
Kardashians have Armenian blood in them, which is why Khloe and Kourtney and Kim, why they have dark, beautiful, exotic features.
What's Chris's background?
Irish and Dutch.
Well, that's not exotic.
No, and you know what Bruce Jenner's background is? Irish and
used
Dutch.
To be a dude.
Yeah, here it is. JFK. Here we go. Let's go live to the Cotton Bowl. JFK Jr.
What? It's not me, motherfucker!
Go ahead. File your report. Okay, this is easy. Say that again.
I say you make it dead man come back. Whoa.
Oh, start it.
78 years old.
Okay. 78 years old. I made that out, and I could hear.
Right.
I could hear. There he goes. That's live. Yeah.
Are you putting up the pictures? Like, we're close, dude. Like, I was so slippery. Like walking down the stage now. Like, I wish this wasn't so slippery. You like break your hip and fucking die.
Okay.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go. Show should be just about wrapping up now. They got to be in bed by 10.
Yeah. He's taking off his jacket now.
Okay.
Whoa.
This is the worst.
No, it's a good
All right.
report. It's a good report.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Call back in. There he goes. That is JFK Jr. calling in live from the Stones concert. All right, he wants me to, see if I can figure out how to do this. This will be fun. All right, so here's what he wants me to do. Oh, wow. These pictures are crazy. Okay. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I'll just share them to my Twitter. So, and then I'll be able to pull them up on screen. So that's how we'll be able to do it. All right. So here we go. There's one. James, go ahead. Talk for a couple of minutes. Fill time. Show us your talent.
Well, I'm kind of interested in your living situation where you don't really have a fridge, but you're squatting, and like, do you have to go to a laundromat, or they let you use their laundry?
Oh no, I've got all the amenities. I am certainly oh Jesus.
See, 'cause I don't have a laundry, I don't have a washer and dryer right now either. So
I got everything. I got access to like a multi-million-dollar home that's just across the pool area. So yeah, I'm good.
JFK Jr. there.
All right. JFK Jr. reporting live from the Stones concert. I think he butt dialed us.
Hey.
This is a butt.
Oh, he knows he's there.
Okay. There you go. That's a butt dial. All right. Let me keep trying to hear. Well, oh my God. Yeah. So my living situation, the living quarters here, the guest house is pretty kick ass. Actually, I mean, it's good. It's like probably the best bedroom I've ever had. It's massive.
No way.
Yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
thought you were in like a pool house, like a cabana with like a little kitchenette or something.
Yeah, that's it. It's a little kitchenette, and then there's the area where I do the show from, and then there's a bathroom. But then the bathroom is the size of, or the bedroom is the size of everything else. It's huge, and I've got my back deck is awesome. My back deck is like massive and really cool. I don't know. Yeah, no, it's good. I would pay for this place, and luckily he's not charging me.
Right. I mean, if you could, fair enough. Yeah.
Because I'm doing this show, gratis. I don't have a job.
Well, what's the act like? Do you pick up chicks and bring them home? Like, how does that
Hell
work?
no. Oh my God, no. Are you kidding me? No, not even anything that I would be remotely interested at this stage in my life. What I'm trying to do here is, hold on.
You're not trying to find love?
Oh God, no. I found love
Companionship
numerous times.
for the rest of your life?
I purposely misplaced it. Yeah, no, I am absolutely not interested in any of that nonsense. All right, here, let's go to some pictures here, and then we'll try and get into a show.
I'm picking at your wounds.
Yeah. I don't really have wounds. I mean, I'm an open book. I'll answer anything. I think you should know that from my years. Okay, here we go. All right, so here we go. Here's the drunk ass couple. There they are.
No one wants to see y'all, but it's actually a pretty cool looking picture.
There you go. There they are. Let's see. Let's see if we get another one here. All right, stop sharing that one. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. Here, we can just do this.
Where's Nick?
Don't need that. Look at how close they are. Yeah, this is pretty good. There you go. Live from the Cotton Bowl. Here we go. Boom. There he is. Look at him. Look at that old man up there.
That's a great picture.
That is a great picture. That is a good one. All right. Let's see what else we got.
For a cell phone picture.
Yeah. Well, you know what is also one of the most amoral things going on? Nope. Cancel. Hold on a second. Did you notice he just so happened to have a hat with a Rolling Stones logo on it? Yeah,
Yes.
he's went out and bought that. You just that's what it's like to have money. You can just go out and you can just buy things. It was
for a
probably
one-off.
It was probably like $20, right? Like $20 would feed me for a weekend. That's all I would need for meat and sustenance for probably more than a weekend. A nice 4-day weekend. I could live on that. He just drops that for a Stones hat. Hey, I'm not complaining. He's the reason that I'm back here.
We'll be there soon. We'll be there soon, Pugs.
Here's another one.
We'll be there soon. Let's go.
Hold on. Yeah. People think I'm kidding. That's why, that's why we talk about you got to support the show. You can do it with sharing the show, by promoting the show, by all of that stuff. You can do it with money. The money goes to me so I can buy food for me and my kids. And I'd like to thank some of you who helped out this month. I'm telling you, we did not reach our goal this month. We did
I'll
not.
give Pugs some money. You don't need to give me any money. I'm rolling. I'm just rolling it.
Well, just while we figure out how we're gonna make this show work, yeah, give me your money, give me all your money. Do that. Help me out. There
This
you
picture
go.
looks significantly further away,
Yeah, it does.
and it looks like from the bottom icons that you don't have an iPhone, so everyone's judging you really hard right now.
Nah, yeah, I don't know. He's fine. All right, wait. Can we make this? How do I make this better? I don't like how big the pitch for support for the show is. That, you know what? Look, you people know. You people, we don't need to do that. You people know. I'm not gonna beg. I'm gonna do this as long as I can. We're gonna
I'll
do
beg.
this as long as we can. But if you can't donate, a couple of bucks, a little something for the effort, we like to call them tips. Support the show by tweeting it, by sharing it, by subscribing, all of that. There are other ways. It's not just about, but if you got money, hey, come on, man. Come on. Hook a brother up who's doing 2 shows a day, at least 2 hours of prep per show. That's a full ass day. But we digress. All right. A couple of things. Let me make sure that he's not. I just got another. There we go. I'm looking at that picture of him and his lovely wife with his Rolling Stones hat on. All right, James, what do you got? You got anything, or you want to just jump into what we can do?
Jump into what you can do.
Yeah, okay. So here's a story that I wanted to bring up, and I'm glad that you're here for it. This was trending earlier today, and we typically on this show don't go back into things that are trending, but I thought this would be an interesting one because, what do you got? Well, you got 6 daughters. How many daughters you got? What do you got there?
2 boys, 2 girls.
2 boys and 2 girls. Okay, so did you see the story out of Washington, out of Seattle, where the father killed the girl's boyfriend with a cinder block, smashed his head?
Wow.
Yeah, it's like a movie murder. Yeah.
Freaking Donkey Kong, huh?
So hashtag free him was trending all day today. And I wanted to get into it, but we didn't get into it today. You weren't. I wanted to talk to you about it because you
Was
had
this a righteous kill?
Well, I don't know, man. I mean, it seems like maybe he could have waited to get more details before he did the kill shot. But
Before the cinder block was released.
Dad was angry. Here's what I'll tell you about this guy. We'll talk. You're a girl, Dad, so we'll talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Spokane, Washington. Dateline. Spokane, Washington. A Washington man is facing a murder charge after he was accused of killing his daughter's boyfriend, who he believed. That being the key word, believed.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Who he believed sold the girl into a sex trafficking ring. It's a mighty serious charge. I mean, you believed he sold her into a sex trafficking ring? Okay, let's break this down. Was she sold to a sex trafficking ring first, right? like, is that a jumping off point that we can all stand firmly on? Apparently, yes, she was.
What?
Yeah.
She really was?
Apparently, she really was. But now we have to go, well, but did the boyfriend do it? I mean, he certainly believed it was, I don't know. Police said the investigation began October 22nd after a body was found in an abandoned vehicle. The body was later identified as a 19-year-old man. Investigators later determined that in October, Eisman learned that his underage daughter was allegedly sold to a sex trafficking organization in the Seattle area. Was that in the phone book? How do you find a sex trafficking organization?
Well, it's definitely not the phone book. Jesus
well, if I
Christ.
wanted to get involved in such things, where would I begin?
Reddit?
Yelp?
4chan?
Are they on Yelp? Like, can I just find the best rated sex? What is sex trafficking, James? What are we talking about here?
Sex trafficking is usually prostitution.
That's it, right? Yeah, it's just he pimped her out. I mean, it sounds
Well, and look,
far more.
sex trafficking is the additional coercion of they didn't choose this profession. They're forced into the profession.
Okay.
So, because look, and it is morally more abhorrent because if a woman out there is of her right mind and not under any duress, and she just decides that when she wants to trade the sexual favor in exchange for money, my libertarian sensibilities are fine. That's fine, whatever, okay. But if someone wants to force
So
her
you
to do
believe as I
that,
do you believe as I do that prostitution should be legal?
oh yeah,
Yeah,
completely.
me too.
Well, I
Absolutely.
mean, it kind of is because porn's legal, and so you
Yes,
can have
I
sex for money as
woo!
long as it's being filmed, huh? Okay.
Look at us. Look at us agreeing on that. Absolutely. I make
Oh,
very
we have a lot of
reasonable.
overlap.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying. Like we can talk politics and you won't hate me.
No,
You
we
won't hate.
can't. I can't talk politics with anybody because I hate everybody when politics comes up. I hate myself when politics comes up. I just hate the divisive nature of it. I'll tell you how far I go. I don't even talk. Did you notice? I don't even argue sports with E anymore. E keeps trying to needle me on sports. And I'm like, no, man, I am tired of just arguing with people about stupid shit. It's all just stupid. Can't we all just be friendly and laugh at other people? Isn't that something that sounds appealing?
Yeah, but like when you see two puppies and they're like, and that's how they play. This is how we play. We verbally just go.
Yeah, I'm not a puppy. I'm a 50-year-old white man. I'm
Right, which
tired
is
of
why
that.
we're not pretending to bite each other in the neck and claw each other and bat each other around. We do it verbally though. It's the playing we do. We keep each other sharp. We're sharpening our blades a little bit, just cutting it
Alright.
up, talking about it. It gives us a sense of purpose, like we're actually doing something. We have something to get worked up about. It's kind of fun.
Officers say that Eisman, this is the dad, Eisenman, sorry. Officers said that Eisenman was able to rescue his daughter and bring her home. M- Look, this is Seattle. This isn't Zambia. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
rescue his daughter. So he went to the motel. I mean, this is not. Ugh, they're using a lot of very big fancy words to describe what sounds like the dude's daughter was a junkie. She got involved in prostitution and he went to the hotel and dragged her out of it. But, they're making it sound like a much bigger thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so Clovis says sounds like the plot to a Liam Neeson movie. It is the plot to a Liam Neeson movie. They just
Yeah,
didn't go to Serbia.
except it's 10 miles away from where she grew up.
Right.
Except
Not Serbia.
yeah, it's not.
And when that where they went, they like the Bosnia or something.
I don't know. I've never seen any of those movies, and people say, "Oh no, you should," and I say, "Oh no, I shouldn't."
No, you're not missing. I thought it was good. It was worth watching. I had low expectations, and you don't
That's
get a
the
whole lot of
"Not My Daughter" movies, right? Isn't that what we're talking about here? The Liam
exactly
Neeson.
like that. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
exactly like that. Except it's less believable because Liam Neeson's like 66 and beating up 25-year-olds.
yeah, I don't need that stuff. I don't.
No, but
It looks
it's all right for what it is. It is what it is. But it was good, and you don't get a whole lot of like Croatian references in movies, so at least it takes you somewhere new.
you want to know where my head's at? You know what I'm rewatching? I'm an hour and a half into this like 3.5 hour epic. You know what I'm rewatching? There Will Be Blood. I'm rewatching that.
Oh, love that.
Oh, that movie is so awesome. Dude, Daniel Day-Lewis, man, that mofo can throw down with the acting chops. That guy,
Mhm.
like, I always think, oh, he's kind of a foolish method actor kind of a guy. Nah, that dude can act. That dude, he is so good in There Will Be Blood. He's so good in this.
Yeah, and you see that there should be a lot of crossover between the character he plays in There Will Be Blood, plus the character he played in Gangs
Gangs
of
of
New
New York.
York.
Yeah.
No,
Bill, but Bill the Butcher.
right, but
Yeah.
you know what? He made them two completely separate people with two
Totally.
completely separate accents and facial expressions, and
Mhm.
that's kind of what impressed me is when you're basically because Denzel Washington plays the same Denzel Washington in every movie.
Does. He
And
does.
even when presented with the chance to be the same guy in a couple of movies, he funked it up enough.
Yeah.
And
Denzel Washington is the most overrated actor in Hollywood. There, I said it. Go kick sand if you disagree. He
you don't
plays the
think Nick
same damn
Cage is?
character and everything. No, because Nick Cage is far more interesting. than Denzel Washington. The bizarre nature of Nick Cage as an individual is far more fascinating to watch play the same character over and over again than it is to just watch Denzel Washington do it.
But Denzel Washington's so much cooler. Denzel Washington is the guy that sits at the cool kids table in high school in the cafeteria.
Yeah, yeah, I guess. I don't know.
That's why he beats Nicolas Cage.
No, man, Nicolas Cage makes weird movies. Nicolas Cage is a weirdo. That's why he's just infinitely more interesting. But yes, he does play the same character. Nicolas Cage has that sort of Christopher Walken thing going, where he's just going to add a degree of weirdness to any role that he takes, and it's just going to make everything more interesting. And I'm not a crazy Nick Cage fan, but I can acknowledge that dude's an interesting weirdo. All right, let's get back to this story.
Yep. Sex trafficking.
By the way, Liam Neeson also plays the same damn character in every movie that he does. He's the same guy. But hey, man, they're not living in a guest house rent-free above their buddy's hot pool, I mean, who am I to criticize that? All right, hold on. We have more pictures coming in, I imagine. See what this... Oh, yeah. Let me see. Is this worthy? Oh, yeah. All right, we got a new picture. This one is definitely worthy. What? All right. Here you go, folks. Here's the latest shot from the Rolling Stoners concert. Here we go. Stud me up. Well, why didn't it go through yet? Hold on. Trust me, we'll get back to the sex trafficking story in the debt. All right, the picture didn't go through. Picture did not go through. Oh, there we go. Sorry. No, trust me, it's gonna be worth it. You're gonna like this picture. You're gonna like this one. Yep, there it is. Okay, let's start me up and never stop. Boom! Look at that one, huh? Look at him there. Wait, you got no comment? What you got nothing to say about that?
That's really cool that he gets to be that close, but also,
what is he on stage now? What is he up in the lighting rig? How did he get that angle? What's that about?
Yeah, with the concert behind him. Where is this at?
Cotton Bowl.
Oh, that's right.
Mm-hmm. All right, so there you go. All right, we're gonna be done.
All right, so how does one get in a position to be hit in the head with a cinder block?
Yeah. I'm glad you asked. Officer said that Eisenman was able to rescue his daughter and bring her home. However, police said the following month, Eisenman learned his daughter's boyfriend was going to be at a certain location, so he waited for the 19-year-old and then confronted him. Police say Eisenman abducted the boyfriend, tied him up, and put him in the trunk of a vehicle before hitting him in the head with a cinder block. He smashed his head with a cinder block. Ugh. I laugh because that's horrible, and I don't know how to process emotions properly. Detectives said Eisenman then abandoned the vehicle with the body still inside. The vehicle was eventually discovered almost a year later. Oh, this is a year ago. This is going back a year, October. Okay. The vehicle was eventually discovered almost a year later along with the body. Police said Eisenman was taken into custody without incident. According to jail records, he's being held on a $1 million bond. Officers said prior to this incident, Eisenman had no recent criminal history. I have questions.
What's recent?
What
you mean
recent?
Like a year ago, 5 years ago, 30 years ago? What's recent?
He hasn't smashed a dude's head with a cinder block in at least 5 years.
Months.
Officers said prior to this incident, Eisenman had no recent criminal history nor any violent criminal history. Okay, so those are the facts. And the reason this story is going around, and it's actually still trending, although further down, hashtag free him. People are demanding that this dad be freed.
Maybe.
Maybe. Well, we have a judicial system in this country. Whether or not you agree with the outcomes of these things, that you can't just do this. You can't just because you think you didn't. Come on, how many dads already think the worst of their girlfriends' boyfriends?
No, I think he's probably guilty, but let's be open-minded that it could play out to where the boyfriend really was part of this sex trafficking ring and he sold the daughter there. And this reminds me of
Okay, but that still doesn't justify the dad killing him. Under the American system of justice, that is still not legal. You still can't do it, and that's why I wanted to get your take on it, because you have a daughter. See, I have a boy. I have the one that would get their head smashed with the cinder block. You have the daughter that would be sold into. But I mean, where is the responsibility for where is the personal responsibility? What kind of life was she leading that she would first be in a relationship with a boyfriend capable of selling her into sex trafficking, and two, that she wouldn't just go, screw you, we're breaking up, and then, call an Uber from the mall. I mean, honestly, there's stuff going on with the daughter that preclude or precedes any of her meeting the boyfriend. Yes, would you agree?
I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm saying there is legal precedent for the father being set free for something like this. There's Gary Plauché and Jeff Doucette. It's a Louisiana case. It was in like 1984, to where this karate instructor had been molesting this dude's son for like a year, and then one day he abducted him and took him to the hotel and returned him to his dad when he was done. And the dad is like, I should have killed him on the spot, but he didn't. And so the guy got arrested and, was being paraded in front of the media, and then he was being flown somewhere. And it was on video because all the TV stations were there. The dad's pretending like he's on the payphone, and when the police are escorting him through the airport, he pulls out a gun and shoots him right in front of the cameras and everything. This is on YouTube.
That guy's a murderer.
He walks. He wasn't found guilty of murder
because the jury never underestimated. No, I'm not going to go into it. You know
Are
what?
they wrong?
Yes.
Is the world a better place?
That is irrelevant to the overall conversation. Is the world
au contraire? Isn't that the whole purpose of the justice system?
Is the world a better place? That in and of itself is a question that is relied. That's a relative question. Is the world a better place? I don't know. Is it a better place that people can take the law into their own hands? Because that's another aspect of this thing. Yes.
True.
Are we probably better off because the dude that did the bad thing is dead? Probably. But we also got another dude who wasn't a bad dude who turned into a bad dude, and now we've created that.
No, and then Clovis just said the magic words that I was about to say. This is a beautiful thing because jury nullification means the ultimate arbiter of what is justice rests in what? A jury of your peers.
Yeah,
Power to the people. This is where we the people rest.
Oh,
and if they want to say, hey man, you can get away with it, get away with it.
We the people are ridiculous. We the people are gathering 10,000 strong in Dealey Plaza today, waiting for JFK Jr. to announce that he's the new vice president of the United States. That's we the people. Democracy is flawed. Let's just admit that. Let's just admit that the American idea of democracy, power to the people, we the people, that it's completely flawed because people are completely flawed. You know what we need? Here's what we need. I'm going to tell you what we need. We need a benevolent dictator. The whole country would be a lot better off if we just had Dave Grohl as our dictator. If Dave Grohl from the Foo Fighters was put in charge of every major decision, I have no doubt that the world would be a much nicer place.
Right? Better than the politicians.
Yes, of course, better than the politicians. Of course. Just every single deal that is happening in the world today, you would put it in front of Dave Grohl, and he would go, let me think about that, man. Let me think. Okay, so here, he would make the right decision, or at the very least, he would make the least bad decision. But instead, we've got, guys worried about getting reelected and, this kind of stuff, and playing to corporate interests and money in politics, and the stupid people that think JFK Jr. is at the Cotton Bowl right now. And now, come on, man. We're all in it for ourselves, man. That's it. From this point forward, I
want you to see the Jeff Doucette video. Look it up on YouTube real quick. Jeff Doucette, Baton Rouge. You're gonna love this.
This is D-U-C-E-T.
This is D-O-U-C-E-T. Jeff Doucette.
Is it Geoff? Is it G-E-O?
No, it's just regular Jeff.
Right,
good old American Jeff.
It's white trash Jeff. Very good. Okay. D-O. Give me more. What is it?
D-O-U-C-E-T.
Oh, there we go. Wait a second, Jeff Doucette. I've got Jeff Doucette. Autopsy. Is he dead?
He's been dead since 1984.
Oh, is this the guy that got shot or the guy that did
Yeah.
the shooting?
The guy that did the shooting was Gary Plausch or Plauche.
Oh, okay.
Plauche.
Okay. All right, so let's look at
Plauche.
this. Jeff,
Or
Jeff,
Plauche,
let
whatever.
me see this. Father vows to kill son's murder. What am I looking at here? There's a whole bunch of.
Yeah. Father kills sons, molester, abductor, whatever you
All
want.
right, but I don't know if this is the video. And now I've got to watch a Gulfstream commercial.
Hey, I was thinking about getting one of those.
Why are they showing me a Gulf? It's got to be because I've got a Highland Park connection, right?
Right, they geolocated.
Geolocated me and think I might be in the market for a Gulfstream.
Gulfstream told Google, the parent company of YouTube, we really just want our ads to play in about 6 zip codes, if that would be all right. And you're in one of those zip codes.
This is like a long story. And this ain't it. This is from 2011 in Cranston, Rhode Island.
That's not the same thing. No, there's quick little clips of the local news crews that were there. And there was one that was just had the perfect angle that was just opposite of Jeff when Gary shot him. And you can see Gary pretending like he's on the payphone. He's got the hat on and everything. You remember how there's like little booths and you could just be crouched up there and no one would recognize you?
I think I've seen that. Actually, now that you describe it, I think I've seen that. I mean, I probably saw it was probably big news when it happened, and I probably saw it then. But I think that sounds, it's funny that you bring this up because I don't think that my sanity can take any more of this stuff because I talked about this during the High Noon show today. Do you know what kind of a hole I felt? Okay, so I started watching a documentary on Muammar Gaddafi last night, right? I was up to
Interesting.
Yeah, fascinating. Because I was thinking, I was like, how did that all go down? Like, what was his deal? I mean, I know that he got killed and raped by a bayonet and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and he wore your mama's living room curtains.
Well, but I was like, what preceded that? Like, what? So I started watching this documentary, and then after the documentary was over, I was like, I need more. So I went to YouTube and I pulled up all the raw video of some violent stuff, man. I couldn't.
When he died?
Oh yeah, the raw video of him.
Yeah, I saw that, and I don't want to see that again.
Yeah, no. It's like, and he's begging for mercy. And
That's not how I want to go out, y'all.
Well, I'm glad. Honestly, I weighed it all with my inner decency, and I came out on the side that fuck around, find out. That's what Gaddafi got.
I've always been fascinated with Gaddafi because he rose to be, the uncontested dictator, the most powerful man of Libya, and he still didn't get higher than colonel.
Well,
interesting. No, it's kind of hard to get a promotion. Kind of hard to get a promotion in the Libyan military. They're real strict on those promotions, aren't they?
Well, his entire power base was that he was a man of the people. So
yeah, right.
He had to stay. No, the real impressive thing was how young he was when he did it. He overthrew the government. All he did, he was like a poor kid who went. He was very. Look, I know
nothing about what he did before he overthrew the government.
So I'm a big fan of Napoleon. Like I love Napoleon's history and how he basically
Corsica, Egypt, all that crap.
He had short man complex.
He wasn't short.
Well, he was for the time. He was. I don't know what you mean he wasn't short. He was short. He was called the Little Corporal, and that his entire drive and ambition was because that everybody was like a foot taller than him. He was small. Okay. Well, you're 6'4". What do you mean he's not short, dude?
Look it up, dude. It's one of those myths. It's silly because there's a bar in downtown New Orleans called the Napoleon House, and they have all short stools, and the bar is short because
how tall was short. Napoleon? 5'5". Napoleon Bonaparte is 5 feet 6 inches tall. It says 5'5", and she says 5'6". Okay, 5'6". That's short.
That's completely average for the time.
What was the average height of a man in France in 1850?
1800.
I don't know.
He was born in like 1775 or something.
Was he?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. Yeah, I'm just the guy who said that I know all about Napoleon, and then it turns out I've got his era off by about 20 years. All right, whatever. What was the average height in France? Okay, there we go. Oh, they're giving me centimeters. I can't do centimeters.
All right, look. I have one that says The average for a French male in Napoleon's era was 5'5", and he was 5'6".
Okay, whatever. I think you're wrong, but we're gonna go on. If it wasn't short man complex, it was broke poor kid complex because he was sent to military school.
Yeah, but he wasn't broke poor kid. He was actually from like an Italian aristocracy, and those.
Yeah, who were exiled. Their family was kicked out, and they were on Corsica instead of they had taken everything had been taken away from them, and their family was kind of like maybe there was some to
They
do
had an estate, but in some
there was
goofy
shame.
war,
Let's
the
put it this
island he
way.
lived on,
He was living on shame. He was raised with a whole bunch of shame about who he was and where he was
he
from.
was
And that's
raised
what
with
drove
shame
him.
because he was an Italian family, but in some stupid war right before he was born, that those two islands pretty much just got signed over. The deeds got
Okay.
signed over from Italy to France, so it became part of France. So he has an Italian accent, he has an Italian history, and now, but he's living in France trying to hang out with the rich people,
He
and they gave him crap.
overachieved. He was
Yeah.
driven
Oh,
to
totally.
overachieve because he never felt that he belonged, whether it was because he was short, because he was broke, or whatever. Yeah, that's what drove him. He was,
Because
yeah.
he was Italian.
Okay, look, we found common ground. If the rest of the country can do that, now this was a stupid argument that we found common ground on. Let's be honest, they're all stupid arguments. Okay, so what was my point? Anyway,
Gaddafi.
Gaddafi was a poor kid who was motivated by seeing he was poor and his family like served rich people, British colonialists and all that who ran Libya back then.
Wait, was it British or weren't they Italian?
Man, maybe I don't know. Whatever. Oh
Who
Jesus! Again,
colonized Libya?
we gotta Google that. Whatever. It was colonialist. It wasn't. It was people who came over and said that we're in charge, and he resented that, and he worked his way through like military school. But he was really young. He was like in his 20s when he became the leader of the people, People's Party or whatever it was. He was a socialist, and that's what the people put in power was
I'm
this guy.
shocked.
Yeah, what all the no, but he wasn't a socialist. That's how he got put into power. But as
Wait,
soon as
but he was a socialist?
no, that's what his basic vibe was when people decided they were going to follow him. But as soon as
Basic
they
vibe.
gave him power, he was like, yeah, fuck that. He went Stalin. He went
Socialist.
in
Were the
name
means
only.
of production owned and controlled by the state?
Right, but not shared with the people, which is the essence of socialism.
No, but
That's why social society. You get it? He didn't share, neither did Stalin. Would you
Well,
stop
maybe
splitting hairs?
in order to share, he could break it up and sell these things. We'll call them stocks just for fun. And that would be better, right? Than government owning and controlling the means of production. Like that is socialism. That's literally what socialism is.
Yes. Actually, we've never achieved true socialism anywhere.
Thank
Certainly never
goodness.
achieved true communism. Well, not going to get into this argument. Thank
Love it.
goodness. You don't know.
All right,
You wouldn't
hey,
know.
So
All right.
it was. So they were colonized by Italy.
Okay.
They were.
All right. So that's what he resented that. He was poor. He saw these rich kids and all this kind of stuff. And he decided he was going to take the country back for the people. And then they gave him the power to do that. He was only in his 20s. He was like really young when they made him the ruler. And this was 1969, 1967 or something like that. And and then he didn't even declare himself as like the supreme dictator till like the 1980s. It was like years later when he then absolved the government that he founded and then made up a whole new government where he was like the supreme, dude in charge. And that was the Gaddafi that we all came to know and dislike.
Yeah, and so then after Reagan missiles him, he drops off the radar for almost 30 years. And then when he comes back in the Arab Spring, I amused myself by finding out that he was still exercising authority based on an emergency suspension of the Constitution from what 1980, the thing that you just described. So I didn't know that whole backstory, but I just giggle that they've had an emergency powers for like 30 years straight. Isn't that how it works out?
He also in the beginning, he had no real power. I mean, all of the other Arab nations, like if in the beginning, he was what was it called? Something Arab, trans Arab. Yes, he was looking for a trans Arab community where he could reach out to all the other Arab nations. But all the other Arab nations hated his guts, so he shifted to trans African. Then he focused on all the African countries, and he's like, all right, the Arabs want nothing to do with me, so I'm going to go trans-African on your ass. And even them, the only person that propped him up through like the first 20 years of his reign was Nasser in Egypt.
Egypt, yeah.
Only dude who had his back. And then how did he repay him? By just going to war with Egypt for 10 years, having border disputes. And as soon as Nasser went down, it was like, oh, well, if he's down, I can take over. It was a mess. Anyway, it was a real interesting documentary. I don't remember what it's called. But after that, I ended up watching hours of raw footage of Gaddafi being taken by the rebels or whatever. Here we go. We got to take another live call from the Cotton Bowl, Rolling Stones. Here's JFK Jr. All right, give us a report.
Oh yeah, baby, this motherfucker is packed. Woo! Like, I mean, I have like the like upper deck, lower deck. These motherfuckers, I don't care what you say, they don't need oxygen. If I could live at 78 like this, oh my God. Man. Woo! Woo! I mean, dude, like, it's stupid. It's stupid.
Well, I can actually hear you now. So what is it over?
No. He's like walking down the catwalk.
Oh. Hey, how are you getting all of these pictures from all of these different angles? Yeah, exactly. All right, thank you for this report. There he goes. That's JFK Jr. reporting live from the Stones concert, apparently. Oh, you weren't here earlier today. We decided that Emil could go down to Dealey Plaza and just tell everybody that he's the JFK Jr. guy because he kind of has that look.
Why didn't you do that? That's a great idea.
He was supposed to be doing it at the Cotton Bowl. He was supposed to go get a fedora, and he was gonna put a QAnon thing on, and he was gonna try and make people think that he was Vincent Fusco, which is the real name of the dude who's supposed to be JFK Jr.
Somebody needs to do that. Somebody smarter than us needs to just get in front of this train and just drive it right off a cliff.
Well, that's how we began talking about Gaddafi, because we decided that maybe he couldn't pull off the JFK Jr. thing, but he could certainly pull off Gaddafi. And maybe he could just start infiltrate his way into QAnon by claiming that he is actually Gaddafi and that Gaddafi survived. But then we thought, okay, he's maybe too young to pull off Gaddafi. So we were just brainstorming people that he could be. And the reason for this is, you know what, why not? Here, let me show you this stuff. So I'll show you the people that were gathered there at Dealey Plaza tonight, or today, all day, waiting on the arrival of JFK Jr. Okay, hold on. All right, here we go. This is interesting. Let's see if we can listen to this, because someone was being interviewed here. This is a live stream. And they were saying that no, JFK Jr. did not show up. However, Robin Williams and Dale Earnhardt did. So, that's good.
Yeah, that makes sense.
There were other dead celebrities who showed up here. So let's just watch this. This was today in Dealey Plaza, because people are totally normal. People are totally normal. They're not weird at all. All right, here we go.
Be looking for people. So.
All right, here, let's listen to what this lady has to say.
As far as celebrities, I haven't seen anybody, but I've just been busy doing live streams, so I'm not paid attention, truthfully.
So nobody's been revealed yet?
Oh no, not public. I mean, like, hey, this is such and such. Austin said that dead people would be walking around, or the term to be looking for people. So somebody said yesterday, I think they saw Dale Earnhardt. We think we saw Robin Williams. Thoroughly excited. Which I did that on the live chat. He actually paused his hand. Came up and shook his hand. So. And he had his wife with him, but I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't know who she was, but he had all the facial features, even though he had a mask on. You could tell it was a mask, but his facial features were very much resembled Robin Williams. So.
Now, is there supposed to be some major revealing today?
I would say so. Yeah, I would say so.
All right.
There's going to be even more tonight, sounds like, too.
You said tonight?
That's correct. At the Rolling Stones concert.
Whee! People are fun. All right. So, let's see if I fix this. Were you able to hear what she was saying? JFK Jr. did not show up, but people were saying there were other dead people walking around. And someone said that they met Dale Earnhardt last night, and that also last night she's pretty sure she met Robin Williams, although he was wearing a mask. But he said he was Robin Williams, and he was with his wife, and she doesn't believe that was his wife, but she does believe it was the ghost of Robin Williams, but not that it was his wife. And as I said earlier, JFK Jr. it was going to be appearing with the Rolling Stones tonight. Now, we have not received any confirmation of that from E, but who knows? Who am I? I'm remaining open minded.
Yeah, he might be the new drummer. Yeah.
Right.
All
right, everybody, put your hands together for Vincent Fosco, JFK Jr. And then he's just back there with the fedora. That's awesome. Oh, God. Seriously, people are the worst. I mean, James, what do you do with that lady? I mean, don't you want to believe that she's doing a bit? But she ain't doing a bit. She really believes that she met Robin Williams last night.
Yeah, the thing about that lady is you have to wonder, is she single or does she have a husband that like puts up with it? I think we would have much better.
That's where you go first. You don't wonder why she's not in a rubber room somewhere in a straitjacket receiving medication.
No, because look, there's people who can believe the earth is flat or JFK is coming back or Bigfoot exists or dumb things and still be safe, productive, functional members of society. You don't have to believe everything I believe to not be a crazy person.
So you don't think she's a crazy person?
Well, I mean, she's like maybe 10%
believes
crazy, maybe
that she
20%
saw.
crazy.
All right.
It's a spectrum. I'm like 5% crazy. And no,
She's certainly not a critical thinker. That's for certain. Because
well, see, you're putting yourself on a high horse when you say that because you're like,
oh,
clearly
yeah,
I am
compared
a
to
critical
no,
thinker.
yes, compared to her, abso-fucking-lutely, I'm putting myself on that high horse.
I know.
Absolutely.
And so that blinds you, like when you go support like a political theory that murdered 100 million of its own citizens in the 20th century alone. You're still a critical thinker there. Because people believe in Jesus rode dinosaurs has been less destructive than people who believe Marxism is a good way to arrange your political affairs.
Really?
And one's clearly more crazy.
Have you? I mean, really? Is this a debate you want to get into?
No, I'm just saying, like, one's clearly more crazy sounding than the other, but one is clearly more destructive than the other.
Well, okay. Look, we're choosing words that may not necessarily fit. One is in modern context an incredibly stupid person's belief. Now, whether or not the other one is an incredibly stupid person's belief in their context of their day, I don't know. I wasn't around in the 1920s. I wasn't around during the Octoberist Revolution. I don't know how crazy that sounded given the ebb and flow of the time. But I do know how fucking crazy it sounds when somebody says Jesus rode dinosaurs in 2021. That I know. So I don't know. You're speculating.
Well, look, the crazy is a spectrum. Are they 100% crazy? No. Are they 0% crazy? Definitely not. Are they more or less crazy than you and me? Probably a little bit. But are we 0% crazy? No, we're not.
I'm a little crazy. I'm fun crazy though. I am not stupid crazy. That's stupid crazy. If you can be convinced that someone wearing a mask who says, "Hi, I'm Robin Williams," really is Robin Williams, you're right. Maybe she's not crazy, but sure is fucking stupid. That is a stupid person.
Man, but
Oh, it's not?
have
It's
you
not
not
a stupid
have
person.
you not met like really smart, intelligent people who believe some really crazy things? There are
Hi,
people
James. Nice to meet you.
yeah, exactly. But
Yes.
right, but like Ben Carson can do brain surgery on a newborn or premature infant. But he probably believes Jesus rode a dinosaur or some other things that you and I would think is crazy. Now, clearly he's not stupid, but these are, people are complex and nuanced. Just
Yeah,
because
that's
you
true.
think
I'll
something
give you that.
crazy doesn't mean you're a crazy person 100%. Maybe when it comes to your ability to recognize Robin Williams is actually dead, okay, you failed that crazy test, but you might pass all the other ones.
Okay, so you want that woman as your neighbor. You want that woman babysitting your kids.
I would like that woman as my neighbor more so than a lot of people.
So you would let that woman stay with your kids for a weekend. The
Well,
neighbor.
if I knew her and otherwise, yeah, probably so. I'm probably related to people who believe what she believes. You are too.
What?
She look. What if she has a bunch of kids and they're all like perfectly behaved and they're totally polite?
What if she
And
doesn't? I mean, you're making a total random speculation
I know, but
just to
you're
support
asking
your
me if I
point.
would let a stranger watch my kids
Well,
because by that
oh,
metric, no, none of them can watch my kids. But I
okay,
can see a
that's what I
scenario.
wanna hear. That's all I wanna hear.
Well, no stranger can watch my kid, but if I live next door to this woman for the last 12 years and I have seen over and over that she is like reliable and dependable and she has kids that are well behaved and I've seen her, handle my kids in like sort of semi social situations, like going, can I get the ball out of your yard and all this stuff. I could progress
Uh,
and
yeah, no,
eventually see
you're
that.
nuts. No, you're nuts. I'm sorry. We're gonna disagree on that one.
I'm a little more open-minded and tolerant of a vast array of viewpoints of
You
the
are.
world.
Yes, you absolutely but more than I am. Absolutely. I just, I have
I tolerate diversity more than you do.
I have completely run out of fucks to give, with people who are just
No, you have no, that's the opposite. I'm the
no,
one who doesn't have any F's to give.
no, 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 because you're
If she
willing to
believes that she
you're
met Robin Williams. No, of course you can watch my kid. I got to run to the store. Be right back.
you are willing to excuse absurd thought processes and just chalk it up to, well, people are nuanced. I'm not. I'm not giving any fucks about those people anymore. They don't exist in my world. I'm going to do whatever I can to avoid them at all costs. And yes, that means they ain't getting near my kid. No. These are the people who put babies in microwaves. These are the people who do crazy shit like that. It's a slippery slope, my friend. And I'm crazy. I know I'm crazy. I've been in therapy for 30 years. I know what my problems are, but at least I can throw a saddle on them and ride them around. I can control them. I'm not outstanding in the freezing cold on a rainy November day in Dallas, waiting for the long dead JFK Jr. to show up and go, I'm vice president now. That is not what I'm doing. I'm not that brand of crazy. Different kind of crazy because we're all nuanced. All right.
I'm a guy who eats 90% of my meals off the same cutting board. You're gonna have to do something a little more bizarre than that for me to be scared of your level of crazy.
Yeah, that's
Right? I do a lot of weird stuff. I can't call people crazy that easily.
Oh, I can.
I
I can.
see. Boy, you just
At my age, I am perfectly comfortable standing high on my horse in judgment of all of the fucking morons that I run into every day. And I have to. If I bottle it up inside of me, I'll have ulcers again. I need to let it all out. I need to let morons know that I think they're morons. And yet again, I'm also the guy who doesn't want to be divisive anymore. That's
Well, see, I think look, what they believe is
nuanced.
crazy. But look, you look at that crowd of a couple thousand people that was in the video. How many of those do you think have committed like a crime in the last year versus the same amount of random sample of someone who's at a
70%.
BLM or Antifa rally? And what's the crime rate among those people? I'm not worried about the QAnon people. They're a pretty docile group that seems to, for the most part, have jobs and not commit crime and not set things on fire or break
Oh,
windows.
you misguided young man. That's such a convenient argument for you.
What?
Yeah,
That
okay,
these
no, let's
idiots are
not go
docile?
there. Let's not go there because
Okay.
you just made a completely unjustifiable comparison between people who go out and protest for Black Lives Matters and QAnon people saying that one is obviously criminal and the other is not. And I
No,
don't
I'm
know
just saying
where
I
you
saw
can
a
get
lot
what?
fewer I saw a lot fewer fires at
JFK
QAnon
Jr.
rallies.
reporting live from the Cotton
Yeah,
Bowl.
baby. Thank you. Oh yeah.
Okay, those few
That was
seconds.
sympathy for the devil. I
Yeah.
was trying. Okay.
Yeah, those few seconds of sympathy for the devil were brought to you by JFK Jr. live at the Cotton Bowl.
We're not going to get copyright blocked on that, are we?
That was a beautiful way for us. Nah, that wasn't clear enough, and it has to play.
Dude, that would still be cool. I've never got to see the Stones. That would really be cool to be that close to Mick when he's singing sympathy for the freaking devil.
Well, that's what I said. I saw the Stones like 30 years ago on the Steel Wheels tour, and the reason that we saw that show was
Because it might be their last one.
Yep, and that was 30 years ago. All right, that's a good way for us to transition here. Okay, so let's get out of this, and let's see. Let's go here. All right, James, did you hear me talking? Did you hear about the? Oh, Jesus!
Let me go get a refill. I'm gonna get a refill.
No, you don't go any. Don't. What? Okay, all right. Phone is off. We're done with reports live from the Cotton Bowl. We're done. This whole thing is spinning out of control.
Mm-hmm.
Going on here.
They're good reports. Good reports.
I'm trying to get people to donate money to this bullshit. Are you kidding me?
Why don't you put it up on the bottom so you can do it?
That's a good idea. This is what you're supporting. This ridiculousness. All right. You really do you need a refill?
Is now a good time? Do I have your permission?
No, there is no good
Then
time.
I won't get a refill.
There
I
is
can tough it out.
There is no good time. You got 34 minutes left. And we may not even go 34 minutes.
Let's just cut it off right here.
No, I got stuff we got to get into.
Let's go. All right, I'm going to get a refill.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead. All right, while he's gone, might be a good time to go through some of the things that QAnon people believe. Because, James is... now that I've got you people alone, I don't know if he's playing devil's advocate. I don't know if, he's just trying to take, I don't know what's going on there, but anybody that would let someone who believes they met Robin Williams yesterday, believes it, and is standing out in the cold and in the rain, I don't know. I love James, but I'm telling you, we are very different people. I used to think years ago when he was a kid, I found him endlessly entertaining because I used to think that he took these positions just to get airtime, just because he knew that I would crack a microphone and let him offer these crazy opinions. But now here we are, all these years later, and he's still holding on to them. All right, some QAnon failed predictions. Here's one. The storm would take place on November 3rd, 2017. There were no notable events in U.S. politics on that day. 2, a major event involving the Department of Defense would take place on February 1st, 2018. No significant event involving the Department of Defense happened on that day. 3, people targeted by the president would commit suicide en masse on February 10th, 2018. No prominent people committed suicide on that day. 4, these are all things that QAnon told their people to believe. 4, there would be a car bombing in London around February 16th, 2018. There was no car bombing. Number 5, a smoking gun video of Hillary Clinton would emerge in March of 2018. No video ever appeared. Something major would happen in Chongqing, China on April the 10th, 2018. Nothing notable happened in Chongqing on that day. There would be a bombshell revelation about North Korea in May of 2018. There were no notable developments. The storm would take place on January 20th, 2021, the day of Biden's inauguration. No coup took place and Biden was peacefully inaugurated. The Trump military parade would never be forgotten. The Trump parade was canceled. The Five Eyes won't be around much longer. The Five Eyes are an intelligence sharing agreement between, what are the Five Eyes? The United States, Canada, England, Australia, and New Zealand. That's the Five Eyes. So the Five Eyes would no longer be around. The Five Eyes still exists as of October 2021. Multiple failed predictions that John McCain would resign from the U.S. Senate. McCain remained in the Senate until his death. Multiple failed predictions that Mark Zuckerberg would leave Facebook and flee the United States. Well, we know that didn't happen. Multiple failed predictions that Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey would be forced to resign. Well, we know that didn't happen. Multiple failed predictions that Pope Francis would be arrested on felony charges. Yeah, that never happened. Multiple failed predictions that something big would happen or the truth would emerge next week. Next week never came. Multiple failed predictions that Donald Trump would be re-inaugurated on January 20th, 2021. Despite losing the election, Joe Biden was inaugurated as planned on January 20th. Oh, he's back. All right. Just a few of the things that, they believe. Let's go into, James, I wanted to talk to this or wanted to share this with you. Now, here, let me see if I can find this again. So we'll close that. We'll close that. So you weren't with me on the High Noon show. I think you bogged out on the High Noon show when I did the story about the MMA match that occurred in Poland over last weekend, right? That doesn't sound familiar to you?
No, I don't know this one.
Okay. Freaking Poland, man. The world is crazy. I mean,
I like Poland.
So let me ask you. All right. So there was an MMA fight in Poland. A female MMA fighter versus a male MMA fighter. Who do you think won?
Well, it wouldn't be a big deal if the male won, but I would bet on the male.
Who won? There was a fight between a female MMA fighter and a male fighter. Just tell me who won.
The male. How about that? The male.
Yeah, the male kicked the fucking shit out of the woman. It happened in Poland.
Okay, good. Is there a video of this? I need to see it.
Yes, we'll watch the entire fight. All 20 seconds of it. All 20 seconds of the absolute ass kicking that was allowed to go to. I mean, it's got to happen in Poland because there is no way that this could ever be sanctioned. Yes.
Bitch. Woo!
Okay.
That's why you're here.
What is he on?
Okay. There you go. That's once
is
again.
He more than drunk?
No, he's just drunk. He's totally clean. He doesn't even drink much. That's probably three $20 beers, three $20 festival beers. Yeah. Oh no, they went to dinner beforehand because remember, when you really went to concerts when you were kids, maybe
you preloaded.
You preloaded, you drank in the parking lot, cheap liquor, or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
But now fancy rich people, they go out to a real fancy dinner before the concerts, and then they take their Uber X to the show where they
with like 3, 4.
Yeah,
You can't wear flip-flops.
Just kill the rich. That's what I say. Okay.
The MMA fight. Show me the MMA fight.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna tell you about the MMA fight. We're not just gonna show it to you. I'm gonna tell you about it. Hold on. All right, it's not this one. So yeah, so I went down and oh my God, I got so many windows open. You challenge me to a point where I'm constantly opening things to prove.
You have to Google the Italian colonization of Libya.
I just close that out. I'm like,
hanging out with me, doesn't it? I'm sorry, dude.
Why do I have how tall was Napoleon open?
Right.
No idea why that's clogging up the works. All right. So basically, yeah, it was an MMA fight. It was apparently sanctioned in Poland. It was a man versus a woman. It went down. People showed up. Here's the story. MMA fans were left disgusted after seeing. No, they weren't.
Were they disgusted? You don't sound disgusted.
They showed up for this thing. It's not like it was a hey, now that you're here, surprise. They knew what they were getting into. This was on the poster. It wasn't like. One viewer described the scene as horrific as the ref was forced to stop the bout.
You need to reevaluate what you're doing if you have offended the delicate sensibilities of the Polish people.
The Polish MMA fan? Not
Yeah.
even just the Polish people.
Right.
The Polish MMA crowd.
Yeah.
Ula
Not the most velvety smooth of people.
Ula Sikzaks is an arm wrestler and fitness instructor who dabbles in MMA, who
Wait a second.
regularly shows off her bulging biceps online. But
Arm wrestler?
She's an arm wrestler and a fitness instructor and an Instagram model and a weekend MMA fighter.
All right.
But they were not enough to defend her against Piotrek Muaboy, who describes himself as 185 centimeters of pure sex. I am 185 centimeters of pure sex, and I'm going to fuck you up, girl. A video emerged online of the show that was held in the hotel, at a hotel in the Polish city of
Consonants.
Stashowa, CZ.
Yeah, bunch of consonants and like 2 vowels.
In it, the pair can be seen trading fairly tame blows before Mulboy lands a couple of solid blows to Sizlak's face. After composing herself, she goes for a takedown, but it all goes horribly wrong. Yes, it does.
Love it. Good.
This is moronic. Mulboy manages to turn her and flip her onto her back. Now I watched this fight a number of times go down here. We'll just pull it up. Why not? Right? You want to watch this fight? Do we want to watch this fight?
I most certainly do.
Does the chat room want to watch this fight, or does the chat room want to just clutch their pearls and wring their hands about how awful this whole thing was? Well, what are we doing? Because it was
what they think. It's our show. Let's go.
Yeah. Hold on, man. Hold on. I want to make sure I pull up the good video.
Okay.
All right. Illegal.
Clovis says the male guy was wearing black eye makeup.
Yeah.
Like or something.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. So here it is. We'll pull it up. It all looks very legit. This is ridiculous. But what the hell? We're going to watch it. Here we go. Smith, Polish MMA. First we kick woman's ass, then we get moose and squirrel. All right, here we go. Ready? Can you see it?
Your Polish sound awfully Russian. Oh, she's a stout little girl, though, isn't she?
My Polish, really? You think there's a difference between Polish and Russian? It's the same thing.
Man, I don't know.
What a dick. What a dick criticism that was. All right, here we go. Yeah, look at him. See, he's got like a little raccoon face going on here.
Dude, if I knew more Polish references, I would have dropped it. I would have.
I don't know many.
I don't know any Polish pop culture references.
I got a bunch of light bulb jokes. I can do. Yeah. I can rattle off a bunch of them. Here we go. All right, let's watch. Let's see what happens. All right. See, nothing punch. Terrible kick. Rotten balance. She's got no form.
She has no base. No guard.
He's terrible. He's terrible too.
Who is he? Who's he supposed to be? He just is like some skinny
girl. Oh, okay. So she just pawed at his face, and now he's punching her in the nose. Oh, she swings and misses. Oh,
boom.
You can't believe she got hit. She's like, ow, that hurt. Yeah, because you're fighting a dude. That's why. That's why it hurt. All right, now he's stalking her. She's still stunned. This is where she's probably going to try and
hurt. I don't want him to hit me again.
Oh, here she goes. Terrible takedown. She didn't go anywhere near. Oh, and he flips her. So easy. Judo toss. And now a little ground and pound. This is ridiculous. This is. Okay, those are illegal punches.
She's fighting.
Those are illegal punches.
You can't this whole fight in the back of the head. Yeah. I don't think that's illegal in Poland.
I think there he goes. He's just ground and pounding her, banging her out. And that's the fight. There you go.
She doesn't look like she was beat up.
So that happened. I mean, what the hell?
Hey, we have a report. Atlanta wins the World Series. Congratulations, Braves.
Oh, that was loud, wasn't it? That was hot.
I think it was the appropriate volume.
There you go. All right, congratulations to the Atlanta Braves. So, when we talked about this briefly the other day, and I said, we'll show the video on Pillow Talk. He was like, well, was this like one of them trans deals where someone's a trans? And there's like, no, this was just straight up female.
They don't have to do that in Poland.
They don't have to. There are no gray areas in Poland. People want to get together and watch a dude beat up a woman.
Next fight, woman fight boy.
Yes, yes.
Take shot, vodka.
Woman fight toddler, man fight bear. That's the next one. It's just going to be a dude with a grizzly bear and a woman versus a 5-year-old. That's what the next on the card was.
Really big 5-year-old though.
Yeah, a fat 5-year-old.
Absurdly large, yeah.
Very fat. All right. So any thoughts on men and women fighting?
This is exactly this is the microcosm of what I think of when the women's national soccer team says they deserve equal pay as the dudes, because there's one real easy solution to see who deserves to get paid more.
Mhm.
And that is
crowd sizes.
No.
Yes. Yes. When you're talking about women's soccer versus men's soccer draws 100,000 sold out seats and men's soccer plays to 5,000. Yes. In America, dude, the women's national team is 1,000 times more successful and draws bigger. Yes, they do. They absolutely do. Oh, they absolutely do. I just watched an ESPN. Well, not just, but like last year, there was a whole ESPN special on why women's soccer is so much more popular than men's soccer at the national team level. Now, we're not talking about WNBA versus NBA, but the women's national team has won the World Cup or won the gold medal.
I know.
The
And what were the ratings?
qualify.
What were the ratings on that game?
Big.
And what were the I know, and what were the ratings on the last when the US was in the World Cup? They weren't in the last one because they didn't qualify.
Yeah, I was gonna say they didn't make it.
But they blow them out of the water as far as putting butts in seats and the ticket prices they charge on top of that, and plus the ratings on TV is the broadcast revenues where the real money is.
Yeah,
no, they blow them out of the water.
The women's national team. You can't name one American national team soccer player, and I can name 10 from the last 20 years. The women's national team are winners. We tune in for winners. We don't tune in for a bunch of dudes that can't even qualify. I'm sorry, that's the one exception. I know the argument you're making, but I just gave you the one exception.
Well, it's built on faulty stats because the guys really do bring in more revenue than the women. Now, if you count like the 3 months when they were playing in the World Cup and the guys were dormant, yeah, in that little cherry picked window of time,
well, yeah, because
can
the
bring
men
in more
weren't
revenue.
good enough. The men's team isn't even good enough to compete at the level of drawing. See, so the men drew nobody for the World Cup. So what is your argument?
Yeah, the men didn't qualify for the World Cup, right?
Because they can't get in. So what is your argument?
So what do you think would happen?
They would draw more. I mean, that's all.
So here's what it really comes down to. Get a soccer field. On one side, you put the women's team. On one side, you put the men's team. Then let them play.
Well, no, you're making a different argument, though.
This isn't a meritocracy all of a sudden?
Yeah, no, it's a capitalist society where the people who sell the most tickets and play in front of the biggest crowds on the biggest stages are the ones who should get paid more. And in the case of women's national team soccer versus men's national team soccer, it's not even a contest, dude. It's not. Now, if you were to just clear everybody out.
You're just making this up, though.
No, I'm not making this up. This is an absolute fact. It's a statement of fact.
I have been to multiple men's games. I've never been to a woman's game.
Because you probably couldn't get tickets, dude. Because you have access to go to men's games because nobody wants to go to them. Women's tickets to national team soccer are sold out every city they play in. It's a big deal. It's a very big deal. They've got medals. They've got skins on the wall. They've got
line them
up. Line them up.
Dude, this is like saying the guys who win the AA minor league baseball championship deserve to get paid more than whoever's playing for the Rangers.
No. That's
the women's league is necessarily a minor league. They are not playing on the same level as the dudes. They can't play on the same level as the dudes. They would get blown out of the water.
Hey, James, the American dudes can't play on the same level as the dudes. So what are you saying?
Look, they're not. They're playing against much harder competition. Look, I bet if you lined up the men's team to play the teams that the women's team has to play, not only would they do as good, they would do far better.
So what you're saying is if the men's national soccer team played the Brazilian women's soccer team, that the men might win. And I would agree with you on that because it's a different. We're talking. we're not talking about who's better or who plays the sport at a faster pace, who has larger bone density, who's able to kick the ball with more velocity, who's able to jump higher. Those are all athletic skills, and men are superior in every argument there. However, the men's team isn't good enough to even get on the world stage, and the women's team is. So when I am talking about who makes more money, it's the team that gets to play on the big stage. That's who.
No,
You
that's not.
cannot name one men's national team member. Name one current men's national team member, and I will name 5 women who are on commercials making millions of dollars a year because their endorsement means something.
Josie Altador, Josh Barnett. There's another Raina kid out there too. Yeah, I know some of these kids.
Never heard of them. You could be making those names up. Yes.
Fuck Sean Hinckley. Fucking Mick Jagger is a fucking bomb, bitch.
What are we doing here? What are we? Hello? All right.
Okay, so to continue,
I don't know.
I will bring another counter example here. Let's look at the WNBA. Did you see who won the WNBA championship? It just happened.
Yeah, Chicago Sky.
Yeah. So the Chicago Sky, do you think it's like not fair that they are winning a championship, but their ladies get paid far less than the team that placed last in the NBA this year? Who was last place team? Like, I don't know, 76ers or something.
Detroit Pistons. They had the number 1 pick, so I would say.
It's good. Detroit Pistons.
Yeah.
So you can sit there and not only be good, but you can dominate a league and you can win all kinds of accolades and titles in your division and the conference and the championship over the women's basketball world. And no, the money just doesn't line up correctly.
James, the Detroit Pistons play in an 18,000 seat arena, whereas the Chicago Sky, who won the title, play in a 2,000 seat arena.
So let's translate this over to the soccer world again. There's the MLS. Now there is a women's professional soccer team. But what's the size of their stadiums? What's the size of their crowds? What's the size of their ratings? Do they even have games on TV? And what happens when they do put their games on TV?
Didn't even know there was a women's professional league.
Because what do you think Megan Rapinoe does the other 3 out of 4 years?
Make provocative political statements on Instagram. I don't know.
A lot of hair dye.
She does.
No, but she actually does okay. I think she made $4 million this year.
Yes, she makes a lot of money. Tobin Heath made over $2 million last year. I just pulled it up right here.
Yeah, and I think if you count in all of her revenue, she made more money than most of the players on the men's national team too.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. They're more bankable.
What's the complaint?
No, oh, shut up. What are you doing? You're now agreeing with me and acting like I've just agreed with you. I am saying it's about bankability.
Right. And I'm acting like there's not some patriarchal anti-female system that's oppressing them, because if given the proper situation, they can make as much money and even more money than the average guy. It's just they don't have it, man. The money's just not there. And it's for reasons other than we hate women or there's some sort of systemic shift against women in the soccer world.
100% agree with you.
Yeah, it's a minor league. They shouldn't be paid as good as the dudes. They couldn't compete with the dudes. No one care. I don't care about the guys. I mean the women, because they're not.
We are talking about the WNBA. If your argument is, if somebody says women in the WNBA should be paid as much as men in the NBA, I would say, shut up. You're wrong. That's stupid. Do we agree on that?
Oh my God, yes.
Okay.
Well, look. With a little asterisk next to it, there could be like the greatest player in WNBA history who's like the Michael Jordan in the WNBA, and she scores a couple of big endorsement deals. So this year she's going to make $6 million in endorsement deals, even though she's only pulling in $100,000 from her WNBA deal or whatever the numbers are. And she could make more money than some guy who's riding the bench for the Atlanta Hawks or whatever. So yeah, generally speaking, though,
look, if you the most, I don't know, I guess bankable women's WNBA players in history, Lisa Leslie, Cheryl Swopes, Rebecca Lobo, people like that, they've probably in their career made about as much as an NBA player who did 4 seasons riding the bench and playing in the D League. But that's proper. because the guy who's riding the bench and playing in the D League is affiliated with a team that draws 1 million viewers to the television screens every time they show up, and nobody gives a shit about the WNBA. I mean, that's just a fact. So you're not getting an argument with me here. I don't even know what this argument is about. I never said that women deserve to make as much as men for any of the major 4 sports, because they don't. But, tennis players are different. Women tennis players draw much larger television audiences than male tennis players. And that has been the case for 20, 30 years.
Right. I just don't buy the argument that the women deserve to make more money than the men in the national soccer team arena. And
I do, because they're bigger, because they're more successful, and they play on a larger stage, and they have bigger. That's an exception. I'm just being
winning the championship of a minor league is not a bigger stage.
No, playing on the World Cup. Playing in the World Cup in front of 500 million people,
right?
When what was the girl who used to pull her top off and she did the slide with the
Abby Wambach or something,
being seen all over the globe? That was a big stage. That was a bigger stage than any male national team member had ever been on, and they performed. So they should be paid for that, and they were. Those particular players were. Who's the girl that married Nomar Garcia Parra? What was her name? She was very popular. She was in every commercial for a period of time. All right, hold on. This is what Google's for. Nomar Garcia Parra's soccer playing wife. Probably should have said ex-wife at this point, right?
Showing pictures that match.
Mia Hamm. That was her. Mia Hamm.
Hey, I recognize that name. Yeah.
She was everywhere 20 years ago for, because she was good, and she deserved it, because I became someone who knew who she was, because she played on a stage that I was exposed to. The men were not. The men, I couldn't name one. I'm not going out. You played soccer, so you have a bit more of a familiarity with these loser dudes who play for the national team.
I do.
You probably go down to the local high school and watch them working out, whereas you couldn't do that with the women's team. You couldn't just go and watch the women's national team working out at the local high school, because there would be photographers, and they all have endorsements with bra companies and tampons or whatever the hell else it is, whatever the male equivalent of Skoal is.
Yeah.
Okay, but so that's the exception that you make, and that is because I'm being intellectually consistent when it comes to my belief that you should be paid according to how much you make for the league, and I believe the women's national team makes far more for USA soccer than the men do.
If you cherry pick like the year that they're in the World Cup and the guys aren't, then
Every year.
Like on a per game?
I don't have to cherry pick.
No. Just look at it on a per game. Just how much money they bring in per game. Because like the U.S. played a friendly against Mexico a few months ago in the United States, and it was a completely packed game. But if the women's team plays a friendly against Mexico, it's not going to bring in as much revenue. It just does not. No one's going to, not as many people are going to watch it on TV. Not as many people are going to buy tickets. If they do, it's not going to be as expensive of a ticket. It's going to be much easier to get ticket.
I don't know. You're just flapping your gums there.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
Because back up any of what you just said. I mean, it sounds good. You're an articulate guy, but yeah, I don't know how you back up any of that.
Look, you can see it. There's not just some system that's like, well, she does deserve to get this much, but she has the body parts of a woman, so we're going to withhold some of this money. Why wouldn't they do that in tennis then? Why don't they do that in gymnastics, where the stars in gymnastics or in tennis are the ones that make more money are the females? They make more money because they get more attention. They get better ratings. They get better revenue. They put more butts in seats. More people are willing to watch Serena Williams play here in America rather than Djokovic playing Nadal for the 1,000th time. And so they earn it. They deserve it, and they get it. There's not some patriarchal system that's stopping women from getting paid as much as they deserve in the sports world. Same thing for gymnasts. I can't name one male gymnast, period,
All right. Do you see what you just said there? I mean, all of this back and forth going around in circles where we were nitpicking each other's points. What you just said there, I 100% agree with. There is no institutional patriarchal system that is designed specifically to keep women down. It's about money in this country. Everything is about where is the money and what is your cut of the money you generate. That's what it comes down to. So I agree with you on that.
So
Talk
the
about
women don't deserve it. I'm said the women don't get paid as much as the dudes because they don't deserve it.
women in what sport? And
Soccer.
the women deserve it in
No,
soccer.
they
That's
don't.
the one example that you brought up. Yes, that
No,
is the one
no, they
example
don't.
where you lose me because the U.S. women's national team is far higher profile than the men's national
So
team.
what?
That's just how it is.
So what? They don't bring in the revenue like per
They
game and
do. They
and
get to
selling
go to the
jerseys.
big
No, they don't.
stage. They
No, they
get to
don't.
play in the World Cup. They get a piece of the revenue, the
Some people get to
advertising.
go to the College World Series, and that's a bigger stage than the Royals playing against the Athletics. But it
What?
doesn't mean that they deserve to get paid. I'm just saying, look, big
But what
stage
on
means
yeah.
jack squat if people really aren't bringing in the revenue. Who cares how big the stage is? It really does come down to dollar amounts. Look how much the World Cup brings in for dudes versus women, and tell me that they should really be making even a comparable
We
amount.
wouldn't know because the United States
I'm a
men's
soccer
never
fan.
make it.
I'm a soccer fan, and
Yes.
and it's not by my choosing or my machinations that more soccer fans happen to be men than women. And I have bought men's jerseys before. I've never bought a woman's jersey. And it's not that I'm some sort of bigot. I just don't want to buy a woman's. I don't want to buy a minor league jersey. Who gives a rip about that? And so the revenue for the men's team just overwhelmingly higher than the girls team. You have to cherry pick statistics. You have to cherry pick, like the one they like to bring up is like
I
the
don't
day
think you
that
cherry
the
pick
day
right.
that the
Go
women's
ahead.
national team won the Women's World Cup, they had like more viewers than the men's team who played on the same day. But it was really close, and the men's were just playing like a friendly that meant nothing, basically. And so they were like, yeah, well, the women had like 14 million viewers and the men's team only had 11 million viewers. It's like, yeah, they're playing in the World Cup finals and these guys are playing in like the CONCACAF qualifiers or something. So you have to cherry pick it. But when you zoom out, it's not even
Man, you're not
close.
using cherry pick properly. No, you don't have to cherry pick. All you can do is pick a random year and see who was the higher profile team, the women's national team or the men's national team.
Well,
It has been the
profile is
women for
subjective.
20
So
years.
let's talk revenue. Profile is
No,
subjective.
let's talk advertisers. Who pays? How many women have endorsement deals versus how many men? And you know what? Let's make it more specific. Not for soccer-oriented shit. Let's talk about Wheaties boxes. Let's talk about other things that are not directly related to the playing of soccer. Who has more endorsements, men or women? If
Oh,
a
it's
dude,
women. It's women.
of course, and that's why they
Yeah,
make
so it
more
sounds like
money.
corporate America is bending over backwards to accommodate, closing that pay gap.
No. No, it's because I can
They're
name
not.
random women players going back 20 years, and I can't name a modern male player of today, and I'm not a soccer fan.
Oh,
You are.
Landon Donovan,
What's
the
that?
Landon Donovan, you know
Who is
him.
that? No, I don't. Who?
Well, a couple of World Cups ago he was big, and then he got
From
left
what
out of the World
country?
Cup. America.
We never did anything in the World Cup. The men's never did anything. What are you talking about? He was big.
Oh man, when I was working with you back in 2006,
Mm,
they got to the quarterfinal stage and they
nah.
lost.
Jeff makes a good point. Let me know when there's a US Men's Cup dude with a Subway sandwich named after him. Let me know when that happens. That's never gonna happen. They'll endorse Makita. Isn't that a soccer brand? Maybe that's the endorsements that they'll get. But you know who Mia Hamm gets? Honda. You know who Tobin Heath gets? Budweiser, Anheuser Busch. She's in a beer commercial. I mean, come on. There ain't no men's in any of these deals.
Well, it sounds like that they're being compensated according to their profile and not to their soccer
And that
ability,
is
which is totally fine with me.
yes,
Totally fine with
yes.
me.
Their profile is higher, thus they generate more income, thus they benefit from that. That's
So now you're saying
capitalism.
there's not a pay gap, or
No, I'm saying that they deservedly make more money. Now I'm not s
some
when
of them
I
do, yeah.
What?
Some of them do, yes.
Well, the stars, yeah. Let's be honest. There are no men's stars. That's why you had to bring up Brandon Lonigan. I don't even know who
Landon
that.
Donovan, but that's just talking about
Oh,
the U.S.
wait,
men's
what was his
national
name?
team. Landon Donovan.
He's
Damn,
not
dude.
famous. You're a soccer fan. That's why you know that name.
Right, but soccer fans do know these names and they buy these jerseys, and non-soccer fans don't buy these jerseys. And
All right.
dude, in the men's world, like it's just silly because like Lionel Messi's making $100 million this year with all his endorsements.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another. We went through the list of the highest paid athletes on the planet, and there are a lot of soccer players, international soccer, no American soccer players on that list. But yeah,
Well,
there's
no,
a
because
lot.
we don't have the top leagues,
We
and
don't
you
have
know,
it.
but when they go to the top leagues, you know, Spain and England, sometimes like Italy and France, dude, those guys blow out the payroll.
Yeah, but they weren't number one. They the number one was an American sport guy. I don't remember who it was. Maybe it was Kevin Durant. It was something surprising because me and he were like, huh? But then like 3 of the top 5 were Premier League guys who were played over there, and then Dak Prescott was number 4. Did you know that? Highest paid
Yeah,
athlete
I
this year?
remember seeing this list. That
Yeah,
was
yeah,
kind
yeah,
of a shock.
yeah. Dak
You don't
Prescott.
even need to have an attached foot to make a lot of money in this country.
All right, that's been it. That's right. That's right. See, this is what James knows this because James is a radio guy. What you do when you're trying to break songs is you pick a single and you hammer that for like a week and you get it so that people are forced to
60
hear it.
times a week.
And then you get it stuck in their head. And then as soon as you're sure that it's stuck in their head, then you go back and you give them a new single, right? And you play that half the amount of time that you played the original one. And then all of a sudden you go back to the original one and they're like, oh, I love this song. And that's how you sell albums. And that's what we're doing here. We're going back to Roses and Lace. And I bet there's a whole bunch of you in the chat room that are actually going, oh, good, I like this one. That's how you manipulate people. That's how we've been selling records to people in the radio biz for 60 years. Although not really us, we're more talk people. But still, we know the strategies. We've probably studied. Did you go to radio school? Like, did you go to, not radio school, but, whatever. I mean, you know how to do.
No, but look, I've been to all these conventions where they talk about how people have to hear a commercial 8 times before they even realize they've heard it, and then 11 times before they can recall anything from it. And usually it's around 21 to 25 times before they act on it.
I was an interim music director for like 6 months, and I had to learn selector, and I had to learn, and then they had to go, and I had to meet with all these consultants who, made sure that I understood, man, exactly how we make a hit a hit. It was like all that kind of stuff. So
that's cool.
Yeah, it was fun. I'm glad I know it. And
yeah, I just learned selector where it's like your number one song gets played 60, maybe 70 times, and then you just work your way down from there.
You hit it every hour you play it at the same time so that you get the same audience, the same person hears the song at the same time every single day, and then you just make it disappear for a few days and you replace it with something else. And then suddenly you bring it back so that when you bring it back, they're like, oh, I like this song. Absence makes the heart. Here's John Hinckley, Roses and Lace. Bye, everybody. See us tomorrow. High noon. This can be the start of something new. Support the show, man. I'm like eating ramen here. No, I'm kidding. But support the show. If you can't do it monetarily, and then if you can't do it monetarily, that's totally cool. But we didn't make budget this month.
No. Look, we're providing you this content for free, and if you don't compensate us in any form or fashion, you're literally stealing.
No, you're not. No,
yeah, you are.
No, but what I do want you to do is because we're gonna do this regardless. We'll find a way.
Do the guilt angle, man. The stealing angle works. No, you gotta guilt people.
No, because I only want people donating to this project who can actually help, who can actually afford. I don't want anybody going into their pocket if that means they're like, oh, my budget is blown. No,
take out a second mortgage. Go into debt, put it on a credit card.
James, that is not how I want to do this. For the people that just simply can't do it, trust me, I'm with you. I simply can't do it. So I get you. But then you got to share the show. You got to promote the show. You got to help us out. Come on. You know, it's not everybody can be Rob Barr. That's right, Rob. I'm throwing you a bone. Rob helped out very nice this week. Very nice. Very, very appreciative of Rob, my old buddy.
Wonderful each and every night, and may you walk in righteousness.
Bye, James.
Always do
Bye.
what's right. This can be the start of something new.